Welcome back to another episode here of The Underground Vault here on Metal Band's Chronicles, where metal lives. That's right. And in this episode, we're going to go all the way back, getting close to 35 years here come this September, but we're going to go all the way back to 1987 for this review. And this would be this band's third studio album, following a pretty big album that came out the year prior, titled Pleasure to Kill, that made a huge impact on the underground metal scene at the time, and was a predecessor to, what would become death metal. But this album, Terrible Certainty, I'm talking about Kreator, obviously. Yes, this release, 8 tracks, roughly around 35 minutes and 39 seconds long. Yes. And wow, what a vast step up from Pleasure to Kill Kreator made with this album. Where Pleasure to Kill was very raw, very primitive sounding, I guess you could say, by today's standards. And their debut album, too. Let's not forget their debut album either, Endless Pain, which was kind of a predecessor to black and thrash metal. So, yeah, with the debut, you get black and thrash metal. With Pleasure to Kill, you get pretty much proto death metal almost, And this album morphs more into the thrash metal vein of things. And it's amazing how the playing on here is much tighter, and the musicianship has vastly improved from, the first two albums. Just amazing stuff. You can definitely hear, I would say, Bay Area thrash creeping into the influences here. At least that's what I hear. I mean, this is way different than the first two Kreator albums, And yeah, it seems like it's a bit more polished this time around. So yeah, this album came out on September 22nd, 1987 to be exact. Was recorded at Horus Studios in Hanover, Germany. Came out on Noise Records. Was produced by Roy Rowland. Excuse me there. So yeah, got a pretty damn good review at the time. All Music gave it 4.5 stars. Rock Hard gave it a 9 out of 10. Yeah. So yeah, let's get into the lineup here before we go into the track listing. Obviously, you got Millie on vocals, Millie Petroza, excuse me there, vocals, rhythm guitars. Then you got Jorg on lead guitars. I am not going to try to pronounce this last name. It's very weird. So we'll just call him we'll just call him Jorg Tridza, however the fuck you pronounce that. Then you got Rob Ferletti on bass, and then you got Venter on drums and co-lead vocals on As the World Burns. Which Venter actually did do some lead vocal work on the debut album, Endless Pain, I should mention, but anyways. So yeah, that's your lineup. Now let's get into the tracks. The album opens up with Blind Faith. Obviously a track about religion corruption. At least that's what I'm gathering. Just a brutal opener to the album. It's fast, it's furious. The riffs on this track seem very unique. There's something about the riffs on this track that seem very unique and unorthodox, Something really weird about it. But it's really cool. It's a good opener, And right away, you can definitely see the progression from, the first two albums with this track. So yeah, excellent opener, storming with menace. And boy, this track definitely storms like a menace. Because it's fast, it's ferocious. You get some more fucking brutal-ass riffs. I think the lead work on this album definitely got better too, compared to the first two. So yeah, another excellent track. Just absolute chaos on this track. Terrible Certainty, the title track. Another excellent track. Again, another fairly thrashy track with some pretty damn good hooks in this track. You know, again, another solid track in my freaking book. As the World Burns now, this one slows down a bit. This is where I kind of hear that Bay Area influence. It's more mid-paced, kind of like I don't know. To me, it's got like an Exodus vibe to it. It really does. I can hear some Exodus in this track for some reason. Maybe a little bit of early Metallica. But yeah, I think it's really good. I mean, and obviously, it's about the world burning down, which here in 2023 definitely seems like the world's definitely burning down. But I digress. We're not going to get into that discussion. Anyways, a great mid-tempoed track with some pretty fucking catchy, huge rips in it. Excuse me there. Toxic Trace. Again, the speed picks up. I mean, this one's just another thrashy track with some big rips. No Escape. Again, back to more of a mid-pace level here. I love the gallop in this. The part where it goes, no escape, and then the rhythm's like, dun, 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 dun. That's a pretty cool part in the track. I really like that track. Now, this track, No Escape, kind of reminds me of something off of Ride to Lightning a little bit, with the way the rips are laid out in this track. Obviously, it's played a little faster, but you get where I'm coming at. Some pretty good stuff. One of them, a track that's quite amphetic to me. Yeah, man, One of Us, just another absolutely killer thrash track, man. I really enjoy this one. It's one of my favorites on the album. Behind the Mirror, to end the album, it begins with this melodic, chorusy guitar intro, similar to like how, some early Metallica tracks would begin, but then it just turns into a full throttle thrash to end the album. Again, you get some pretty huge rips here. Another track that's solid. I mean, yeah, man, and on this track, you definitely get some nice freaking breakdowns, with the rips, which is really cool. I love that stuff. That's what thrash metal is all about. All in all, I think this is an excellent album. And before I give a rating, we're going to check out the track No Escape. No Escape. Man, what a killer track, dude. Like I said, man, you can definitely hear the progression from Pleasure to Kill to Terrible Certainty, especially in this track. No Escape, I mean, huge riffs. I mean, very melodic style of riffing going on there too, a little bit, but still really heavy, really in your face, you know. And notably, I should mention too, where Pleasure to Kill was in drop D tuning, this one's back up to standard tuning, which kind of gives it a very different sound compared to Pleasure to Kill. But yeah, you can definitely see where, as musicians, Kreator was becoming better. And man, to this day, Kreator's still going strong. So, what more could be said? Anyways, to me, I think this album is a 10 out of 10. I don't think there's anything weak on this album at all. I think it's an excellent album. Call me biased, but I think it's a 10 out of 10. Anyways, that's my review of Terrible Certainty from 1987. And man, subscribe, like, and share. And keep it freaking metal. And bang them heads.